Hi, it's Scott, aka Sketchy McDoodles. All right, so I just wanted to share something with you. It's a product that I've decided to try out and test out for my new iPhone 16 Pro Max. And that product is, this is the mobile video kit by SmallRig. It's a co-op product with Brandon Lee, and I've been kind of playing around with it for the last couple days, and I just want to kind of give you my initial thoughts on it. It's pretty cool. So I've taken a still photo, which I'll overlay so that you can see everything that comes with the kit. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and assemble the product the way that I've been using it, and kind of go over the things I've really liked and things I'm a little on the fence about. So, through the magic of video. All right, so this is the rig as I've had it set up and have been using it the last couple days. As you can see, it looks fairly odd, but it's a nice design, and this thing is solid. I was concerned that it'd be made out of plastic, but it is made out of aircraft aluminum, which is great. It's very, very solid. And you might think, do you really need this for your phone? Absolutely not. But it is going to be very handy. So what I've got set up here is I've got a variable ND filter on the front. So I don't know if I can get this to show up on camera, but as you turn it one direction, it gets darker. Turn it the other, it gets lighter. Doesn't really show well on camera, but that's what's happening. So that's really good for getting the correct exposure when you're outside, especially when you've got very bright sunlight or even overcast. You can adjust your exposure with this variable ND. And it's taken me a little bit of time to try to figure out how that works. But I think I'm kind of figuring it out. And we can pop that off and put it in the case. You can see right behind that variable ND is a magnetic mounting base that comes with the kit. And if I'm not using it, it just slides right off. And then I can put any of the, it came with 3 different bezels. Bezels, is that what it is? Bezels? Bezels? I'm gonna go with bezels. Anyway, it came with 3 of these frame pieces, and they just slide into place and snap on. So, so that's really cool. The handles make it a lot easier when you're trying to use your camera as a filming device, or even a photography device. Instead of trying to hold your phone just right and stuff like that, you've got these handles, and then you're probably thinking, well, I still have to take my hand off to press the camera button or press the screen button. Not so. This also comes equipped with, I don't know if you can see it, this comes with a Bluetooth shutter button. So this will be good for snapping pictures or starting a recording or stopping a recording, and it works really well. The other cool thing about that is the shutter button slides off. So it slides off and you can carry this with you. And so if you have this set up on a tripod or on a bench somewhere and you're going to be taking a photograph, you can remotely take the photograph with your Bluetooth. I think it's up to maybe, I can't remember if it's 30 feet or 30 meters, but it's a ways. For up to a distance, you'll be able to start and stop your video or take a picture. And so that just slides off, and you can use it aside from the rig, which is cool. The other side also slides off. This is just a plain rubber top. But let's say you wanted to slide this off, put it in your kit bag. Then you would have an additional cold shoe mount. So you could mount a light on here, or you could You can mount a boom mic if you wanted to use a boom mic. I'm using obviously wireless mics, but a boom mic like Rode. Rode is a very good microphone company. They make one for cameras and obviously phones, and it's only like $80, and it's a very high quality mic. So that is an option. So speaking of cold shoe mounts, the reason this case or this cage that I've gotten is so cool is because it's got cold shoe mounts here. It's got 1/4 threaded bolt holes for anything from tripod mounts to Arca Swiss mounts to I've got this little, this is also made by Swiss or Small Rig, this little arm that can clamp onto anything and act as a sort of portable tripod. It has a 1/4 end on it, and you could screw it right into the top, or the cool thing is it also has the 1/4 on the bottom, so you could screw it onto the bottom. Let's just do it. This is riveting video right here. So you could screw it into the bottom, and then you'd be able to mount this in any way you wanted to, especially if you were you're just walking through, let's say, Mount Rushmore, and you wanted to get a picture of you and your friends. You could clamp this bad boy to any pipe or branch or park bench, and then pull off your remote shutter trigger, snap a photo of you and your friends, or do a little vlog if you wanted to. So that's really cool. That's an advantage to having a case like this. Also, these 1/4 mounts, you can set these up for things like this guy here. So the cool thing about the iPhone 16 Pro Max is that you can directly run your footage from your camera to an SSD, an external SSD. So you could mount something similar to this, and they make specific ones, but this is what I had on my shelf. You could mount something like this to set your SSD in and then plug it into your phone. Or you could mount this and like a 2 or 4 port USB-C hub, and then you'd be able to run like my microphone, my SSD. I have one coming, a battery pack, battery supply. Always having battery is good. Stuff like that, just being able to accessorize what you're carrying. You can also put lights on here, you know. So if you're in a low light situation, you can pop on your LED and you'll have good lighting. I did find that the receiver for these little wireless mics, it has a clip on the backside, and I don't know if it was designed this way or not, but it slides perfectly into the cold shoe fit or cold shoe slot here, and that's what I've been doing, is just sliding it in there and then plugging it into the phone. And so that was kind of a happy little coincidence. So that's really cool. And the handles, they just easily come off. So you can position them on the sides, or you can position them on the top. And say you wanted a top handle for your rig, so you could do those low shots. You would have that. You can go ahead and put it on both sides, position the handles, and then you can do the vertical filming if you want to do that, certain social medias. The handles rotate, obviously. You can also change the position of the handle so that you can move these handles from the mounting portion here up and down. So depending on what's comfortable for you, this is most comfortable for me. They also come with, underneath the bottom of the handle, there is you can't really see it, but there's an Allen wrench under each one of these handles. So you'll always have an Allen wrench so you can loosen up your handle settings, position where you want. That's very cool. I do like that. And the handles can be swapped from left to right or right to left. In fact, I just I just swapped them, so now my shutter button's over here. Whatever's most comfortable for you. So those are all the good things that I found. I really like it, and I was weighing whether or not I was going to keep this thing, or because this specific model is about 150 bucks. So it's not dirt cheap, but it also doesn't break your bank. You can get cheaper versions of this that aren't the signature Brandon Lee version of it. But this kit came with the variable ND filter, the special phone case that allows you to clip that on. It has the remote handles, all that stuff. And so it was like kind of like a one-stop shopping for me to pick up the basics of what I would need for a camera cage for my phone. So that's kind of where I landed with that. Now it did come with another accessory. So if you want to take your handles off, this in and of itself would be a very rigid phone case. This is something I would keep my phone in. I won't, because it's also metal and heavy, but I thought about it. So to release this, there's a release button, then you just press the phone out. This is just the aluminum frame that it came with that protects everything, and it's got access to all your buttons. The downside, I guess, here's one con that I found with this. On the iPhone, they put a ridiculous number of buttons along the side, which if you're used to holding your phone like this, you're going to accidentally hit those buttons all the time. This one especially, this camera button, it's a cool idea. I just wish they would have maybe put it further down, maybe, so that it's not like right where your hand is. But so one of the cons of this case is that you cannot access that camera button. It's not a huge deal. It's not a deal breaker. In fact, some people have complained about that camera button, and for them it might be an advantage to have that covered up. But that is one of the downsides I noticed about this rig. So anyway, you take it out. This is the way your phone will look once you pop it out of that rig. This case right here, this black case, came with the kit, and that's what sits inside the housing for the camera rig. You could use this as a regular phone case if you wanted to. I would never do that. This is just, I've seen a lot of them like this. It's just like that silicone mold that goes around your phone, and it's just a soft rubber, sort of a mild impact resistant case. I would never use that as my everyday case. This would be something I'd probably just put on specifically to use the camera rig. But what it did come with is this right here. So what is that, you ask? That's what I asked when I opened it. All it is a little piece that clips onto the bottom of your phone and then locks into place via a tab. And then it's like having a little handle for your phone, and you could easily put your variable ND filter on and run it like that, and then just have this sort of handheld. What it is it just gives you a little extra grip on the side of your phone, which is kind of cool. I would probably hold it this way, but it's kind of cool that it's got that. So you can, if you don't want to get the whole rig out, you can just slide the handle on and just do your shots that way. What is also cool about this little handle is that on the bottom of it, it's got a 1/4-20 threaded hole. So you can screw this right onto a tripod, and of course you'd be vertical, but you can screw this right onto a tripod, set it up, do your vlog, whatever you're gonna do, take your vertical picture, or if you've got tripods like mine, you could tilt them to the side and have your 1/4-20 pointing that way. But that's another nice little thing that came with the kit. When I started weighing up all of the things that were included in the kit versus getting them separately, if I were to go out and get them separately, it would have ran me about the same or possibly a little more. And I really like the color. I mean, that's kind of what sold me. I like that sort of gradient green into black that they've got on here. And so it was a fashion choice. But so that's what I've picked up for a camera rig, and I'll be getting other accessories to go with it. When this thing's fully kitted out, it's probably going to get some looks, but that's okay. Everything I'm doing is to make video making on the go a bit more realistic and a bit more versatile. The other thing I'd like to, since we're speaking of versatile, the other thing I'd like to mention, if you guys haven't heard of it, there's an app for your phone if you're going to be trying to use a rig like this and not just playing around or doing the camera alone type shots and video, which is what most of us do. If you're not doing it for content purposes, I suppose, then you wouldn't necessarily need this. But there's an app called Blackmagic Cam. It's a camera app, and what that does, I don't know if you can see it on there. It's the farthest icon. What that does is it's a supplemental camera operating system that's quite a bit different than the built-in or the preloaded camera system that they, or program that they use with the iPhone. And you can tell by looking at it, just by opening it up, that it's a little more of an advanced feature-rich software. And I mean, you can do everything in there. You can change which lens you're using on there. You can change your shutter speed, your FPS. You can change your ISO settings. You can choose what format of recording you want to do. I did some playing around with Apple Log video. And if you're not familiar with log video, like S-Log is Sony's version of that. What it does is the log footage is just very desaturated, flat footage, but it preserves all of the details, all the shadows, all the highlights, and it knocks out the camera's color settings or color enrichment settings, so that you just have this sort of raw footage that you can then take into your video editing software and do your color corrections, and you can kind of set it up the way that you'd like it and maintain like the best possible image quality. It does take quite a bit of space, especially if you're using, I think it's Apple Pro resolution in log, Apple Log. But if you're using the Blackmagic software and you have it set up correctly, it uses less data, less I guess memory for storage. And also part of the reason to have the camera rig is to have that external storage for your video and stuff, and that way you're not bogging down your phone with all these videos. But yeah, you can do all kinds of adjustments. It saves the media separately from the system media. You can go in and change all of your settings. It's so customizable. I'm still learning how to use it. I've been watching videos and trying things out that people tell me to try out. But it's a very feature-rich software for video. Yeah, is there anything else? Oh, there is something else. I framed my postcard, or my thank you card from 1000. I thought that was one of his cooler drawings, and wanted to have that where I could see it. I did do some recording. It's not very good. I'm still figuring this stuff out, but I think now we'll play some of that so you can see some samples of what I recorded over the last couple days. All right, peace.